Every new Claude session and it forgets your repo, your architecture, and that one decision you already explained 5 times. So you waste time just onboarding for a chatbot. This is PAI, and it's trying to fix that. PAI, or Personal AI Infrastructure, gives Claude Code memory, structure, and reusable workflows. In this video, I'll show you how it works, where it helps, and where it still gets annoying. PAI is basically a life operating system built on top of Claude Code. It was created by Daniel Miessler, and you might know from Fabric, Seclist, and a lot of other security and AI workflows. PAI gives Claude Code an operating layer, not just prompts, not just a folder of notes, an actual structure for memory, skills, workflows, goals, and processes. It includes persistent memory across sessions and projects, custom skills you can control, a 7-step process called the algorithm that ensures Claude acts in a set order. It even has a local dashboard called Pulse and a named digital assistant with its own working style. It knows your projects, your preferences, and how you like to work. That sounds nice, but is this even different from things that we're already using? So let's look at the part devs actually care about. Does it reduce the amount of explaining we actually have to do? If you enjoy coding tools that speed up your workflow, be sure to subscribe. We have videos coming out all the time. Now, here's PAI loaded inside Claude Code. I'm going to ask it something that would normally require a longer setup prompt. Help me plan the architecture for this new feature. Using my current project context, past decisions, and coding standards, now let's watch the difference. Normally, this is where I would paste the repo structure, explain the service boundaries, describe our coding style, and I would hope that Claude kind of pays attention and picks up on everything. But here, PAI pulls from its existing memory, it understands the project context, and it runs through that algorithm that I already talked about. And the answer is not just, here's one way to build it. It gives me a structured plan. It includes what needs to change in order to make this work, what risks to actually watch out for, what assumptions it's making, and how to verify that the work is actually done. Now, that last part is actually pretty important because vague AI suggestions, they don't really work well. Now, that was really cool, but how again is this different from just using Claude Code normally? Well, Claude Code is already awesome most of the time, but it still depends heavily on the context we give it in that session. The better the AI gets, the more you want to use it for serious work, but serious work depends on the context. It depends on our stack, preferences, goals, testing strategy. Your personal definition of good code, well, PAI adds the missing layer, which is continuity. It remembers the stuff that usually disappears between our sessions, and compared to heavier agent frameworks like LangChain, Crew AI, or custom multi-agent setups, PAI is more personal, it's more text first. You don't need to build a giant orchestration system just to get useful behavior from it. The bigger thing is that it turns AI from a one-off answer machine into something closer like a coworker, for instance. Most of us don't need more random code suggestions. We need continuity. The custom skills are also a big part of the value. You can create a skill for reviewing Next.js code, security reviews, planning debugging. And the key is that these are not generic interest-based practices. They're your rules, your preferences, just with your way of working. That is the one small difference. But it becomes a big difference after, 50 sessions. Now, here's the part that keeps this from being a simple, everyone should use this recommendation. No, it's not quite that. PAI is not an all-in-one tool that fixes everything, and it's not a zero-effort tool. I'd sit or stack on other tools and skills. You need to be comfortable with terminal git config files and the idea of maintaining your own AI operating layer. The installer helps, yeah, but this is still dev tooling. You'll probably spend time understanding the structure, editing memory, setting up your telos, defining your ideal state, figuring out which parts of the system actually matter for your workflow, and if you heavily customize it, upgrades become something you need to actually think about. Now, that doesn't make it bad, just you need to actually perfect it for yourself. There's also the Claude Code side of it. Pi is built natively around Claude Code, so if you're not already heavily in Claude, that might be a blocker for some of you. API costs can matter too, depending on how much you use it. So you can use it, right, if you have the max plan, then yeah, sure, it's fine. But you don't need a personal life operating system to remember how to center a div, at least I hope not. So is Pi worth using? My take, yeah, but only for the right kind of developer. It's worth using if you already live with Claude Code or Agent AI tools, and it's especially worth it if you want reusable AI workflows instead of writing the same prompt instructions over and over again. But honestly, you could probably skip over this, at least I would wait, if you want something completely plug and play. The way I would think about Pi is this. It's not just another AI coding tool, it's a personal developer infrastructure. You spend time setting it up, you define your preferences, you create one or two useful skills, then every future session it gets a little bit better because the assistant has more context to actually work from. If you enjoy coding tools like this, be sure to subscribe to the BetterStack channel. We'll see you in another video.